Gentleman's Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review, more like a challenge review. That's right. Today we've got Sorry Umami IPA. This is from Yoho Brewing Company out of Nagano, Japan. This was actually something that Christian dropped off for me and said he'd love to see me review this. And I now understand why. This is an IPA made in Japan that also has in it Bonito Flakes. Yes, that's fish flakes. Bonito is actually a rather good tasting fish. And fish flakes are something that you would put in something like miso soup. So it's going to be salty. It's going to be interesting. Let's give it a try. I mean, there are other beers that have salt in them, right? You know? I know you know what style I'm talking about. All right. Okay, well, it looks like a normal beer. Has a nice, very golden in color on my side. Got a little more orange look from yours. It's got a kind of a thin, but it's a one finger head nonetheless. Let's get to the nose. Not real strong. Okay, I did get something interesting. You know, you get maybe just the slightest hint of something there. I mean, it's actually kind of mild in the scent. It's like a very light sweetness, maybe just like a light hint of some citrus on it. You know, it smells more like a pale ale, to be really honest. But I do get like a light savoriness to it. But it's faint. It's hard to tell. I even get almost like a light, almost bubblegumish scent, which is interesting. That's more of a Belgian style. So, I don't know. This is an odd review, and we're going to just jump in. Cheers. Well, it's not horrible. On the front side, it's, wow. Okay, I got a shift at the end. At the front side, there's a nice light sweetness to it. And I still feel like I get almost like a bubblegumish type scent. Maybe a light grassiness to it. I get a little bit of pine. So citrus, pine, grassy. Almost a sweet Belgian. But then this, my mouth feels like it's foaming. It's not really super strong, but you do get this like savory feeling coming in on the palate, about towards the end of the mid palate. Yeah, those Bonito Flakes, they're in there. There's no question. It's there. They did I think you know, I'm sure this is just a crazy beer. Maybe they do serve it regularly in Japan. I would have no idea, but it's there. It's slightly. It's just tickles. It's mostly actually a really mild IPA, a nice IPA. The bitterness is pretty low. I think in most cases in the U.S., you might just think of this as more of a lightly hot, you know, moderately hoppy pale ale. I really hadn't looked at anything else on it. It's 6.5% ABV, so it's got a definite you know, amount there. And it has a nice sweetness to it. It says on the back, "I'm sorry, I didn't ask what you like," and it goes on to describe a little bit more about the beer. But actually, it's not bad at all. It's very pleasant. That savory note on it is fairly light. It just doesn't end with that like really nice sweet note that I would prefer for it to end with. It's I would say it's kind of crisp and semi-dry on the backside. A little bit of a hint of some grapefruit on the taste. I kind of thought that maybe it would bring in like it'd be more salty and bring in more like of a soy type taste. But I don't really feel like that's the character at all. I will admit that as a kid, when I was little, we had fish, and I did try the fish flakes. So ever so lightly, you know, might get that kind of you know, if you've tried fish flakes, it might ever so lightly have that kind of a flavor, but it's kind of mild. It's kind of different. It's a really good beer, but as I said, there's something about it that's kind of making the back of my palate feel like it's foaming a little bit. As at the end, so it leaves just a somewhat unpleasant aftertaste a little bit. Well, you didn't expect this to be a long review, did you? Alright, so how do we rate this sorry Umami IPA? I'm not too sorry. It's different, and I will finish it. In terms of IPAs, I mean, it's got some really nice redeeming qualities, actually. It's got some good qualities to it, and it's just the back end ending for me that makes it not quite as pleasant. But actually, I'm going to give this an 82. It's not all that bad. And honestly, my overall is really not much different than that. I'm going 81 with my overall. So here it is again. It's the Sorry Umami IPA, and it's from Yoho Brewing Company out of Nagano, Japan. It's an interesting beer for sure. It's worth trying. It's not bad. It's a good one to pull out with some friends and slide over and see what they think and then tell them what it is. Krishna, I've thought about bringing him in and doing a food thing where we make weird food combinations and then challenge each other to eat it. What do you think? Should I do that? Should we create a channel like that? It's food for thought. We'll catch you next time. This is Kevin at Clemens Home saying life's too short to drink cheap beer, and I'll see you on the next beer review.